a show by Lauderdale, Jones, Scott, and Smith. Winston Leak, you better act right. Don't drive slow and be wild at night, 'cause you need to know that if you do, that Scotty Ray is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere. That man is faster than a scalded cat. If you do something dumb, then you better run with haste. Scotty Ray's at a wreck before it ever takes place.
Welcome. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie. And, boy, there's a new sheriff in town, isn't it?
Yes, he is. And he is walking tall and carrying a big stick.
And what we're referring to is the showdown that happened over the weekend. Maybe you're familiar with it, and maybe you're not. But I've seen some things, but it's a man who sticks by his guns and doesn't back off. Columbia is what we're talking about. Some of you probably that are news savvies are up on this. But we had people here illegally from that country. We're returning them all to each country that they come from. They would not let a United States plane land with them. So they weren't going to accept them. So in Trump style, he revokes all of their, what do you call those people with their
immunity?
Well, the people that come here, it's a name for it, that come here.
Oh, you're talking about in their consulate. They're the
representatives of that country, whatever that name is. He revoked all of them and their family members to where they couldn't be here. Raised tariff by 25% and said if you don't take them back by Friday, that number's going to 50%. It was about 2 hours, and the presidential plane from there came to pick up those people.
We'll come
now
get
Odie, I'm not gonna lie, he's been saying some very nasty things on X about our president, and that he's going to raise tariff taxes there too. I don't think it's a game he wants to play.
No.
But the big thing about this is, Odie, it sends a message to every country that won't take these folks back. We're coming, and they're coming back to you. It has set the example, or ambassadors. Yes, ambassadors.
Yes, thank you.
Why couldn't we think of that?
Yeah. Well, it's Monday.
We're struggling.
We're struggling. We hadn't had our whole pot of coffee yet.
I really think that's a strong message. We don't have we've seen presidents in the past that flew around to other countries and said, look, we're sorry about that little war we were in with you years ago, accept our apology. It had to be our fault. I'm sorry, it's our fault, whatever it was. And we've been backing down as a nation for the last 8 to 10 years. And now we have somebody that's not scared to say, I'm an American, and this is the way we're going to do it. We pay for most everything around the world. Not everything, but there's a lot.
Well, I mean, Colombia. So they're going to jack up the price we pay for their goods?
That's what they claimed.
The only thing we get out of there is drugs.
I thought it was coffee, Juan.
Well, I guess Vaughn and Harold's cousin.
That donkey brings that coffee, and I sure like it.
Well,
do we actually grow coffee in the United States?
I don't know if we do or not. That's a good question.
And I don't know that. I don't know if it's our soil is not compatible to grow coffee. I don't know.
Maybe I think you had to have some good rocky soil.
That's just a question. I don't know the
Maybe
answer
we need to have our own coffee, the Scotty Ray and Odie coffee.
I'm all for that. I just, we really need to be able to survive on our own. That's
I do too.
Let's see, other big news this week. There's a lot happened. We got a lot of local stuff. No coffee or chocolate, Terry says.
Well, I'm not big on the chocolate anyway.
Chocolate makes me dizzy.
Well, I mean, that's cocoa, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, to some extent, yeah. But y'all look for some changes coming. Also, as it was said, but as we know in Trump style, sometimes he'll say something to get what he really wants. The WHO, the World Health Organization, he told them we're getting out.
Yeah.
Because we pay like $500 million, and the closest was China at $39 million.
Something like that.
He says, yeah, we'll consider getting back in if everybody else pays their fair share. That's only right.
Break it down, and if everybody gets the same percentage bill, we'll pay it.
Colton says we don't have the right climate for coffee.
All right, so we got some. Somebody said they used to grow it in Pigeon Forge. They grow coffee in Hawaii.
Sure,
I've had some Hawaiian coffee.
That's not that wacky.
You won't
weed,
like it. It's called Kick Harold coffee.
Kick Harold coffee.
Kick Harold, Kick Butt coffee.
Is it good?
It's good.
You know me, I stick to one brand. It's
You
hard.
can say that again. You do not deviate.
I do not. I keep it by the case in case there's an emergency.
Yeah.
You learn through the years of what you like get. So we'll be watching
comes
this.
from South Africa. Okay. I did not know that. Well,
We're
maybe
learning.
we'll get our coffee from South Africa.
Anybody else other than Odie go on all these cruises?
There's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah. Let me tell you what the new rules are. They got this guy that's over these Caribbean Carnival cruises. Number one, you can't hang your wet clothes from your balcony, your little balcony thing there. Can you live with that?
Well, we do tie ours down because it does get windy, and I don't want to lose my clothes.
Okay, well, he
but
says
you
you
do
can't.
see some people do
He said you
that.
can't do that.
That's good.
Also, you cannot smoke your marijuana from your balcony, he says. No more.
Boy, they do that constantly. You go outside and you can smell it.
Okay, number three thing says you ain't going to do on your balcony no more is sexual relations. Can't be doing that no more on your balcony.
Well, that upsets me.
We're moving on to something else there. Have mercy, have mercy. I don't know. But yeah, we'll be right back. More to come this morning. We'll tell you what happened in Meridian over the weekend.
Are you tired of your old car being a dud? Well, come into Kia Meridian where we're giving up to $3,000 over KBB for your trade-in. We have interest rates as low as 0.9% and up to $3,000 in rebates. Come in to Kia Meridian and drive off in a new car and a new you for the new year. Come see us.
Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger. Plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. Welcome back. And when we were talking about the Columbia thing, I failed to do one thing. Donald Trump released a picture last night to True Social, and it's been copied over to X. And I don't know if y'all have seen the picture. He put this out for the president of Colombia. Let me show you the picture. There it is. It's a new leader now. And once again, I mentioned in the first show that I had to Google what those letters were in the background. FAFO.
Yeah. We'll say
Fool around
and find out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There could be two meanings to that, and we'll leave it at that. But fool around is the one we'll use there.
Well, there was they were interviewing a couple guys who worked with Trump, worked for Trump, and they were in Palestine, and there were some hostages. This was when he was in office the first time, and they said strength is what you get with this man. They walked into a meeting with this guy, the president or whoever of Palestine, and he said, I want my prisoners back, and you have until 2 days from now to get all the Americans back. And if you hurt one hair on their head, I will rain
He sure did.
on you and your family. And the interpreter's sitting back going, and he goes, no, you tell him exactly what I said, word for word. And he told him, and Trump got up, reached in his pocket, pulled out a picture of that man's family's home, and gave it to him and turned around and walked out.
Yeah, it wasn't, we'll do this to your country. We're coming for you.
We're coming for you.
It spoke volumes there.
And it changed a lot of things.
Sure
we got
did.
our people back, and look what's going on now. He's not playing.
Hey, I got a cool picture this morning of what it looked like downtown. I want to say a big thank you to Fred Reynolds. Take a look at this.
That's a wet picture.
The rain coming down downtown Meridian. That's just I like that pic.
That is cool.
It was there. A wet morning we have. And we want to remind you to be careful. There's a lot of rain out this morning.
There's a lot of water on the roads. Little bitty indentions are full of water. Hydroplaning, please be careful. Leave early.
Over the weekend, we had 2 shootings in the city limits of Meridian.
Wow.
This makes 4 for the year of shootings and 1 death. As we go to look at this, here we go. Let's go over to the 100 block of 5th Avenue South overnight. Meridian Fire Department, Meridian Police Department responded to a gunshot wound to the hand. As we don't have a lot of details, Odie, but we do believe there was some form of an argument which led to this man being shot in the hand, and the person fled who did it. Now, does that person probably know who it is? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
So as we look at that, again, not life-threatening, but was rushed to the hospital with a gunshot wound. A gunshot wound, still a gunshot wound. Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to show you, this was early Sunday morning, our next shooting that we had in Lauderdale County in the city limits of Meridian. And to take you back, if you're traveling down Highway 39 as you pass the southeast, not the southeast, but the northeast softball complex.
Yeah.
Where the track is.
Yep.
That next right-hand turn on the left, you have Commercial Bank.
Yeah, at the red light.
Yeah, at the red light there, you take a right. That is Country Club Road East.
Correct.
That trailer park that's on the left is where the shooting would happen. Now, when I arrived on scene, as you can tell, it's dark. Very dark. And as sunlight, as you can see the pictures of all of the lights in the background. And I'll tell you what we know about this at this point. Daylight started getting, that was them doing their tape across the road there.
That's their Scotty
Crime
Ray
scene.
Keep Out tape.
Yep, that's exactly what that is. I don't know why they just don't put my name on it. Daylight starts breaking, and there's not this home here, but there's another home back here, Odie, is where this would happen. As we would learn on this, the man is going to be okay. He was shot in the leg. Now, this is what I've been told. The person did, I was told 2 different stories in the beginning. Once he was on foot, another time that he was in a car. I do believe at this point he was in a gray car. The man that shot him apparently came to his house a day or 2 before and attempted, and this is what I'm being told, to break in. He ran the man off, showed a firearm, the man left. Did not know him from Adam's apple. The man returned early Sunday morning, banged on his door, he opened the door and was shot. Now, if that is truly the case, we've got more or less a lunatic running free. Now, the police are doing an investigation, and we hope to find out more about this. This is the story that I was told. That is not confirmed by the police. I want to be up straight and forward about that. That is just
They
what I'm
hadn't
being
released
told.
anything,
Correct.
which is good because it is in the middle of investigation.
But what kind of people do we have in our community? The man is going to be okay. His wife held him until the police got there and the ambulance got there. And I made this statement, and I was not running down. I want to be clear about this also. I was not making fun of Metro. But if I'm in the back of your ambulance and I have a bullet wound, please run the red light. Don't wait for it to turn green. Please, just go through it.
As much as I'm paying, I want to ride faster.
I want to blow it out. And I'm sure that they had the man stable, and there was, I guess, no reason to speed. It was not a life. But I was sitting there thinking, man, if that was me and I had lead in me, I would want them to bypass every red light in town. Get me there quickly.
Or they may have gave him some of that juice where he was like, I don't care.
Yeah, maybe so. But that happened early Sunday morning. That was about 6 a.m. with this gunshot. This is not far from Confederate Drive. Now, so we'll wait to see what the police tell us about this. Most cases, people know each other. It's not a random act of somebody that just showed up, and it may end up that we don't know. We'll wait and see what the police give us on this.
Yeah. Here we go.
Have you got any of those Fox News alert sounds?
That's more corn, right? News.
WKRN. I really didn't think we would see this day, folks.
I didn't either.
Donna Jill has officially, as we go to look at the note on the door, Donna Jill has officially moved from the old courthouse to the new courthouse. She took the county election commissioner with her also.
That's good. That's good.
So if you're looking for Donna Jill, she's at the new pad now.
That's right. Go in. I want to say you go in and hang a left
Okay. I didn't know where she'd be. I need to go up and just look.
and hang down that way. I do too. I'm not sure. I don't think she's upstairs. She may be. We will find out, and we will get back to you. I know the courts, some of them are down to the left. If
Yeah.
you want to tag, you walk in the front door and go straight back. The left is your tag. The right
taxes.
is your taxes and your, what do you call that discount?
Discount?
Yeah.
I didn't get one. Where can I go
Yeah,
get it?
you can get one.
A discount?
Yeah, it's
Homestead exemption?
homestead exemption.
Okay.
Yes. Go sign up and hurry up and do that if you haven't and you qualify.
Runs out real quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk on this one, and we'll show it to you. This was released on the City of Meridian's webpage. We've had a little over 300 comments on it. You're more than welcome to put your comment. The city's was turned off, the comments were. But this was released, the city website. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is the city's page, not Jimmy's re-election page, correct?
That is correct.
Should that have been put on there? They're wording it as accomplishments, but I would almost lend to believe that that is also a re-election bid of his accomplishments. Y'all read through it. It's very long to read. We'd love to see your comment, and it just keeps on going and going and going. I think he even took credit for bringing it. I really thought Mississippi Power had a little bit to do with that new company coming to town. I thought. I could be wrong.
You know, Mississippi Power was contacted, and this company was talking to them, and Mississippi Power said, hey, look, I got a place for y'all that'd be ideal. We can help you out the whole 9 yards. Let me introduce you to Lauderdale County and the EMBDC. And the EMBDC got involved and said, hey, look, we can help you. And this is city, county together. There's people that's
Matter
what
of fact,
they
there's
do.
a big meeting tomorrow from the governor.
That's right. And then they take it to the board and take it to the council and talk about this. So this is truly a teamwork between, I say a teamwork between the city, the county, the EMBDC that was given to us on a silver platter by Mississippi Power.
Correct. I don't care how you slice it.
I don't care because we got it.
There's a lot of people saying, you put what you want on your page, but isn't this the city's? We'll see there.
Well, I mean, now, you do put accomplishments on there. What have you done in the city?
You don't think it's kind of ironic with an election coming up and we haven't heard anything for the past 3.5 years?
That's it, because nothing's ever been put on there. I see where people are upset. A lot of people are disappointed. I haven't taken the time to read the whole thing yet.
Ooh, talks a whole lot about the police department. Read it. It's on our page, or you can go to the city's page and just read it there because you can't comment on it. But you're more than welcome to put your thoughts on our page.
But you can't comment on it.
Not on the cities. Now, there's only been 2 times since we've been existed that I've turned comments off because it was just, it got ugly and there was no reason to get ugly. But there's only been twice that I've ever had to do that because it just got out of hand and it needed to be squashed. There's no reason to cause fights and arguments among people over things that really don't matter.
That's right.
But go read it, see what you think, cast your own judgment. That is out there. The campaign is coming. New mayor for Meridian. Will it be the same or will y'all choose a new one? We'll see. We'll be right back. Let's face it, accidents are going to happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see my friends and professionals at Chet's Paint and Body Shop in Center Hill. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop.
Looking for a deal you can't pass up? Right now, drive off in a quality used car for just $299 down and only $299 a month here at Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Meridian. That's right, good reliable cars packed with features at a price you'll love. $299 down, $299 a month. Look, I'm not kidding. This is a real offer that our customers have taken advantage of for years now. Come see us today, Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Meridian.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie on this wet Monday morning.
Man, it really is. So y'all be safe out there.
I wanted to send some condolences, did you not?
Yes, for Lisa, who's been watching, and she always comments, and we're sorry for your loss, and prayers continue for you and your family.
We responded to an accident with injuries. Once I got there, I had to get out a magnifying glass to try to find a scratch anywhere. So surely not. I mean, I was really expecting the big enchilada there of car parts everywhere. And this is what we arrived at. I mean, I really couldn't find a dent. But maybe thereafter, I think you can buff that out.
So Chet can take care of that.
I think he could take a rag and clean that one. But Meridian Police Department, Fire Department, Metro responded just the same to help that out. As I eased up the road there, I was typing it out on my phone there in the parking lot of Queen City. And the next thing I know, there was a humongous wreck. And it was sounding pretty bad.
You could hear it from there.
Yeah, it was sirens going off, and we took off and went that direction. And let's go up here to it. This involved, let me go back here, Odie. This will be a clearer picture if I do it this way. Several ways to look at this, but let's look at the still pictures. This is what we arrived at. And this is where we want to stress, and we're not blaming anyone on this, but hydroplaning is just one of those things that happen. And we believe this to be the reason for the wreck. This car was entering I-20 and began to hydroplane, and it went out into I-20 in the eastbound lane, and this just happened to be coming by.
You can't buff that out.
And no, sir. Let me zoom in on that where you can get you a better look at that. Total loss there.
Man.
Because when I first walked up on it, I was looking at both cars of front end damage, and it didn't make sense. I've had several people say that it was the car just when that water hit it, it just somersaulted. Now let's look at a video of this. This gives you a bird's eye view of how it looked.
Eastbound down, load it up.
Where'd that come from?
That's what we were listening to earlier this morning, I reckon.
That's the TikTok version.
Oh, me.
We'll just slide this over. I got one with audio and one without.
Yeah.
If you'd like to hear the rest of Eastbound and Down, going over to our TikTok channel.
Thank you, Donald Trump, for keeping that going.
As we look at this, and this is going to get over to where it all happened, right before the bridge. And that gives you the look there. It was wet, and then the car came to a halt right before it went under the bridge there. A miracle. Now, both people, the police officer was moving. He was trapped in the car. The dash come in on him, and he was not able to free himself. The fire department got there, freed him out of it. I'm sure he's good friends with the fire department now.
Yeah.
But he was sitting up when they loaded him into the car, and then I heard that I think he got out later on in the evening and is doing fine, which we're glad. The other person was also checked out. These things happen. Hydroplaning, it'll take the wheel from you.
In a heartbeat. And these police cars, a lot of electronics in there. They're tight. They don't have just a regular console. They have their equipment around. They have their MDTs, their mobile data terminal. A computer.
Oh, that's what that means. I was fixing to ask. MDT. I was thinking I needed an MDT. You said that.
So they've got a lot of equipment that's inside that vehicle. And then, since we're talking about a lot of equipment in there, people are always talking about, why are these vehicles always running? Your radios, your computers, your electronics, all that stuff is running off of that vehicle. And if you cut that vehicle off, when you turn it back on, it takes a little time to get all of your pieces of equipment to back going again and back functioning again. And if you need it right then, you don't have time for rebooting. So that's why your vehicles are sitting there running all the time, and the cost is not that much.
Yeah, I'd walk back to the rain from that wreck, and it was pouring. And I sat out in my truck, and I went to turn the key, and everybody started leaving. I was like, wait a minute, where's everybody going? Wait. And then I started getting texts that there was a fire in Meridian. I thought, oh, I gotta go.
Gotta go
and
to
I put
this.
in drive, and somebody was barbecuing. And it was smoke coming out their back grill. And it was turned in as a fire. And everybody turned around and went back home. Had them a Mickey D's, and that's what happened there.
Didn't even get a rib, did you?
That's right. I was out bright and early Sunday morning, and I bumped into this fella here.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's just show Odie as I go to this scene. Where is Otis here? Let me back up here where everybody can see. Oh, there's Otis.
Tucked your shirt in.
And as you'll see, this car, and yet again, another hydroplane. This car spun out, slid around, and hit the curve here. And let's look at the next picture. That was going to get real loud with that ambulance coming. Yeah. As you see it, it hit the guardrail there, that concrete barrier, which we're glad that that's there, or we would have had this head-on wreck.
Y'all our interstate is busy. If you're going east to west on the southern part of the United States, you're coming through here.
That's right.
And it's a lot of people.
So it gives you a general idea of what went on this weekend there, a wet one. And what we really, 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 really want to remind you of today is the same as it was yesterday. It's going to be slick. As the afternoon goes into it, we'll get more rain. We'll talk about that. What brand of flat? Nebo.
Yeah, you go down to Al's Garden and Gifts and say, give me the Scotty Ray Special.
And it will light up your life. It'll be like Debbie Boone with you all the time.
Yeah.
It is the absolute best flashlight. 18K is what it is. You will see yourself from then on. Can't nobody hide from you.
No.
That's without a shadow of a doubt. Already 7:28 this morning coming up. Let's see here. All right, we've already done that one there. Coming up, we're going to tell you about some more events that went on Winston County, a car chase that led to a shooting in Neshoba County. We got that and so many more things. Lisa, you're right. We all need to be careful there. Robin says she tries to avoid that interstate. And I can understand it, but sometimes there's just no way to get around it. It gets you from point A to point B a lot quicker than traveling 8th Street.
It does. It does.
Like if you're sitting still and you have a Chick-fil-A moment, and you're sitting at Waters International,
you need to get there.
You need to get there, I-20.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
We'll be right back. J&J Tire Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp, trail riding, or just working on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
I don't know if Odie can mock this next guy. You almost look like you could cut hair.
I could try. Well,
Let's go back to 1905. He was born on this day, and he would come into, a matter of fact, he still comes into your house. A lot of you love this. Some of you have the DVDs to it. Where would we be without Howard Sprigg? No, it wasn't Sprigg. What was his name?
Floyd.
Howard
Yeah.
McNairn, it would be the other guy that was
Yeah.
called that. But there he is.
And then who was it? Was it El Grego that was telling us that he actually had a stroke? And one side, one arm didn't work or one leg, and they had to post him and stage him with the camera right where only one hand was used.
And they done that to keep him on the show. That was nice. Nowadays, I think they would...
see, go home.
Yeah. You'd be gone. Yeah. One of the most beautiful women of all time, and comes from she even filled in, and I didn't realize at the time, I was a kid, 10 or 11 years old, and I didn't realize who she was when she took the part of that famous woman who had breast cancer. And I was thinking, who is this woman? And it would be a few years later, it would dawn on me. Miss Ellie off of Dallas was replaced by this woman.
Oh, well, I didn't watch Dallas.
No, shame on you there. Donna Reed was born in 1921, and you'll remember her from being the wife in It's a Wonderful Life.
But she is a pretty lady.
She sure was. She was absolutely gorgeous. And again, she'd play Miss Ellie there for a little bit at the end of that show before the run ended. 1945, this was liberated. We could go on and on and on. We all know what really happened there is awful. They were liberated, thank God. Allied forces kicked into this. This guy, every time the Green Mile comes on, I stop and watch. I can't, it's an attraction. Did you ever watch
I love it.
Babe?
I did watch
Pig?
it. Yep, I did watch it.
Well, he's been in so many other movies, but Robert Cromwell was born today, and he was the warden, and then he was also played the Babe's pig handler.
But I did not recognize him being in Babe. Of course, it's been a little while since I saw that. But, yeah, definitely Green Mile is probably his most notable.
Yeah. But it's a list, probably 70, 80 movies that the man was in.
A bunch, yeah.
In 1814, we took a little trip. It would be 1959 that those famous words were recorded in a studio. It would happen today.
Johnny Horton.
And he done so many songs that were patriotic. Johnny Reb. He done the Sink the Bismarck. Way up north to Alaska. Johnny Horton was just really, really, really good.
There was a story that went with it. There was a story about everything. Now, if you sing the same line 20 times, just in do different octaves,
you're right.
You get a #1 hit.
I'm hoping all of that would be changing. We've been sharing a few country songs that I'm shocked that are country that have been released lately.
Well,
really
they don't
shocked.
have enough tattoos across their face.
Well, they're working on that.
They're working. The eyelids got stuff written on it.
And that is becoming commonplace there.
Yeah.
Charlie says, I think he played in 8 seconds also. I didn't realize that. Could have.
Huh. He's played in a lot. He was in Little House on the Prairie.
Well, I could see that.
As we try to come up with Down the Mighty Mississippi.
We go back to 1968, Sticks and Stones. Well, Tracy Lawrence was born today. So that makes him about 57, is that right? 57 today.
Yeah, he's closer to you than he is me.
Yeah, listen to that. You just keep trying to throw that age on me, don't you?
Not by much.
Tracy don't look like that no more either.
He is
he's older now.
Yeah. Oh, look at that thing. Right
it would debut today, and I actually watched the Barrett auction this weekend. I saw a 1968 Chevrolet pickup truck sell for $200,000. I saw a 1972 Blazer sell for $250,000. Now, the story that they didn't tell you is they had $225,000 in it.
Yeah, still.
But boy, talk about bringing some prices. But this brings a lot of money. The Shelby GT debuted today in '65. Of course, those are sought after cars.
They are, but still, that Barrett Jackson. I wish I was closer kin to that fella. Hey, cousin.
I really enjoy watching that of what people will bid. Every now and then there's a bargain, and then there's those times you go, whoa.
And you see one person out there bidding, and the rest of them's on the phone. He's got it.
It's and then the internet bids.
Wow, yeah.
That is becoming a large portion of car bidding.
Man.
You'll have to tell. Don't you have to pay like an extra 3% if you win or something?
Usually 10% goes to the seller. Like if you sold it for $200,000, you get the $200,000, and I get 10% for even selling the thing.
And then I think there's an extra charge if you're the buyer. I think I've never bought anything like that. 1956, this was big, and it would be released to radio today as Heartbreak Hotel. A Little Elves Down at Lonely Street.
Oof.
We can't hit those low tones like Elvis, so we're going to back on.
We can't hit any tones.
You didn't have to tell everybody.
They already know. They've heard us sing. All 3 million of them out there watching goes, please don't sing no more.
1973, do you remember this?
He could even see we can't sing.
Very superstitious. As we go back to that. That was a big song there for Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. I still, that just, I'm admired by what they do.
Him and Ronnie Millsap.
Ronnie Millsap, blind and can sit there. I can see, and I tried to play piano, and I was okay, but they are awesome, and what they've done.
Do you remember Terry Gibbs? Somebody's knocking.
Oh,
should I let him in?
Yeah, I do.
Lord, it's the devil. And after that one big hit she had in country, she went to gospel and hadn't been heard of since.
I remember that song.
That was big there.
Oh yeah.
This went #1 today. And I remember hearing it as a kid. Old Dogs and Children and,
Watermelon Wine.
Tom T. Hall had the #1 song in 1973. It was all about him being in a bar in Miami. And the waiter was cleaning up the tables. And he's sitting there sipping on his drink. And the waiter comes by and he starts talking to him and tells him there ain't but 3 things in this world that matter. As old dogs and children and watermelon wine. Just a great story.
And then took that and made a song out of it.
Sure did. Let's show some leg this morning as we go back to remember Laverne and Shirley because, it hit the airways today. And soon after that, you would see 2 boys named Squiggy and what was the other one's name?
Squiggy and Lenny.
Lenny and
Squiggy.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Again, a spinoff of Happy Days as we go back to remember some of these TV shows of the day.
Oh, boy.
1976. For those who didn't know who this woman was, you would learn about her from Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights. It'd be the shirt with the cougar tore it all up. And he goes, I lost my Crystal Gale shirt. 1979, she had the #1 song in America called Have You Left the One That You Left Me For? Has she heard like me that slamming door? Good stuff there. Loretta Lynn's sister on top of that. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
That's her sister.
I did. And then I think it was last year on one of these, The Voice or something, her granddaughter was competing, and she could sing.
Loretta?
No, Crystal. Maybe was it Loretta?
I've seen some of her grandkids that are not really good at it.
All right, then I want to say it was Crystal Gale's granddaughter, maybe.
It was one of them that done a duet with Conway's grandson, and I thought I could have done without that. Just let me live with their memory, please. Please don't do that again.
Makes us feel better when we try to sing.
Yes, it does.
I remember this right here.
Odie's mama told him he could be a star and he could sing.
Yeah.
Let me enter a talent show.
She lied to me.
1984, this would be a worldwide breaking news story.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, we only had CNN in 1984.
And it just came out.
I think it, wasn't it in 84 or was it later?
It wasn't, it was right around in there.
Michael Jackson would get, caught on fire making a Pepsi commercial.
All those sparks coming down the hill.
Something caught on fire in his hair. And I assumed that it was some type of oil that he had on his hair.
Yeah, what was that movie with Eddie Murphy? Soul Glow.
It sure was.
And Chuck Young, his family, they started the Young Hair Products right down here on 26th Avenue, right before the underpass, and that's what they made was all of these hair products.
Huh. Didn't know.
I don't know if that was linked back to that's what Michael Jackson was using.
Probably not.
Jerry curl was what was big then. It wasn't the Soul Glow. That was a movie name.
Eddie Murphy's funny. I don't care who you are.
Eddie Murphy is funny.
Who was the sexiest man alive in 1986? And no, it was not Odie. He thought it at the time.
Dang, I was runner-up again.
It was Mark Harmon. Do y'all remember him?
Yeah, now he plays on NCIS and
yeah.
A couple of the other ones, but I didn't know.
Look at
he
there.
did
There's
that.
Donna Reed up in the left corner. We just talked about that.
He is way up there with a wonderful wife.
Well, I be. It's funny to flip back in time to take a look at what was popular and what's not now. But Mark Harmon, 1994, Claude Akins died. You remember him from being Sheriff
man.
Lobo.
Yep.
From BJ and the Bear. Y'all remember that?
And the bear.
He's always trying to stop that little monkey. Good show. I had forgotten this guy even existed.
Oh, man.
Y'all remember Andre?
Yep. I met him back in the early 80s. Went to Birmingham, watched a wrestling match over there. And he come walking down the aisle, and I was right over there by him. And I stuck my old hand out, and he shook my hand. And it was like a little bitty pea in the middle of his.
Yeah.
He had hands. He was a huge,
You know what he told me?
man.
He never wanted to shake hands with Ricky Mars ever again.
Really?
Have you ever shaken Ricky Mars' hand? You don't ever want to do that.
Let him squeeze down on it.
Yeah, y'all ask Rodney Wing. He walked away with 4 broke fingers. I've met a lot of people in my life, but never a stern handshake like Ricky Mars has got.
Well, he had a heck of a hand.
Yes, he does. That's a little look back on history of what happened today. Some of you remember, some of you may not, but interesting stuff there. We'll be right back. Scotty Ray and Odie on this bright and early wet Monday.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low-mileage cars and trucks. How about a Z71 2500 HD? Or maybe you're looking for the Ford F-150 with lots of leg room in it. Plenty of SUVs like the Explorer for the family. Or if you're looking for a gas saver to go back and forth to work, come by and see the mini cars like this Nissan.
The low-profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Welcome back. Steve Ratcliffe coming out of the closet and admitting that Bud Brown's daddy broke his hand with a handshake.
Yes. Ooh.
And y'all know that there's just certain people that I ain't shaking hands with them no more. Let's do a pat on the back. I'll come out better.
They'll tell you're up now.
Over the weekend, I responded to, a stolen car in downtown Marion. Well, it was actually found.
A founded car.
A founded that just got delivered that's been missing. I don't know the rest of the story yet. We hadn't gotten the police report on this, but the car had been missing, Odie, for a little over a year. And it was reported, and I say stolen, and will also at the same time joyride, possibly.
It was barred for a while.
Yes, sir. That's the way to put it. The car, somebody needed a ride home. They were given a ride home, and the person that was driving just kept the car and drove off. And here's what we got. As the Popo arrived there, and there was a lot of police there as they go back to investigate that. And, of course, whoever the record driver was that delivered it and dropped it off, I'm sure was talked to. But that's what your car looks like.
Well, it looks like it'd been sitting somewhere for a while.
Yeah.
So, obviously, it wasn't being driven. I guess they knew that it was being looked at.
Yeah. So
looked for. So
that was on Fairground Road. Had my first accident as a teenager there. I got hit head on there by a drunk driver one time.
Oof.
Wouldn't know where to go. We left the road and he still hit us.
Oof.
That's been many a moon ago.
Been a while.
I also went to State Boulevard this weekend. 2 people got hit by a car that left the scene. As I stumbled up on this would be at Downs Road. They were so nice when I bumped into them. She goes, I was minding my business. This car come along, hit me and left. And this is what happened. You see the back of her car?
Yeah.
Tore up the back of it there where they were hit. I went just a little bit further down the road, and I would find yet another car at 37th off in the ditch where it was hit. Then we kept going. So I come up. I'm going down State Boulevard, and I get there where the East Mississippi State Hospital is.
Yeah.
And somebody sent me a text that said they thought the sheriff's department was after somebody over by MCC. So I took a right-hand turn. And I never made it to the sheriff's department because I run up on this. The Meridian Police Department had stumbled upon the car that was hitting everybody. Let me back this up where you can get a view of this. See the damage?
Darn.
Let's hit play here. She's all over it. And
Paddocks is all over it. I mean, she is everywhere, isn't she?
them pink handcuffs, you can't miss them.
You don't want to see them either. She'll use them suckers, I bet.
Will she now?
Yeah. She's a hard worker.
Yes, she is. So that's how that went down. And again, I'd gotten reports that somebody may have been drinking and driving, and the sheriff's department was doing something, but I never got over there to that. We had so much going on. It comes in just try to get to as many places as you can at once. Also, Friday, this would be over at Country Club Drive. We had a boo-boo there.
Well, that didn't feel good.
No, sir. We'll hit play here, but this gives you a bird's eye view of what happened here. I think it was somebody coming out of their driveway, and accidents happen. No major injuries or anything like that. I think it was originally thought to have major injuries, but in the end, I think it was just minor for the most part there.
Well, lucky it was through a neighborhood.
Yeah, and you can't beat them little forerunners there. Those run run some more.
Do. Yeah.
People look for those every day there. So that's what that was about. We got another one. We got a couple that we need to bring up here. This is going to be, they sent this to us this weekend. This is Causeyville.
Carr Road in Causeyville.
Yeah, let's pull this little fella up here. He's missing here. If y'all have to see this puppy, they sure would like to have him home. Looks like a friendly little fella.
Oh, that's Edna's dog.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, we need to get it home.
All right, Darla. Y'all need to find Darla and bring her home.
Oh, that is Edna's dog.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's whose dog that was.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be.
And I know Edna loved her dog.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. And if you've ever missing your pet, let us know. We also have another one here. This one has been, Luna is her name, and she is missing. If you happen to see Luna, she's not aggressive. It's in the Grandview area is where she is, Grandview Avenue.
You know, these dogs don't necessarily have to be aggressive. These can be some of the nicest dogs. It depends on how they're raised. They have a tendency that if need be, they can tear something up. But for the most part, if they're raised right, these can be some of the nicest dogs out there.
And that's what we had missing on that. And I mentioned J.D. Vance earlier at the beginning of the show. And I'll be honest with you, I'd never heard of him when he was announced that he was going to be the vice president nominee. I'd never heard of him yet, and I still haven't watched his TV show. I hear it's the movie that was made about his life.
Something came up like that, and I said, well, I'm going to find it. So I pulled it up on Netflix, and I'm watching it, and Amy's sitting there, and she's doing something, and I put this movie on, and she starts watching it with me, and she goes, I've seen this. And I said, is it any good? And she goes, yeah. It's been a couple of years, but it is good. And so we sat there and watched it, and I said, well, do you want to watch something else? And she goes, no, I'll watch this again, will you? So at the end, she's like, wait a minute. This is J.D. Vance, our Vice President-elect J.D. Vance? And I said, yeah. She goes, I watched that movie and had no idea. That's what it was.
And I plan on watching it.
Very good movie about his history.
But I really had no idea much about him. And most of these guys, like Mike Pence, you didn't hear a peep out of him. And when you did, it was very little said. This guy is not afraid to get in front of the cameras. And could he be setting the stage for an election 4 years from now?
I mean, yeah.
This weekend, and I watched this interview 2 to 3 times. A lady from, I think it was from CBS, CBS was interviewing him about deportation, saying that it was wrong, and he goes, no, they're not vetted. And she's going, oh, yes, they are vetted. Now, it's not up to us to realize if they were radicalized before they got here or after they. He goes, wait. He goes, I don't care. I don't care when they were. They're here illegal, and they're leaving. Mm-hmm. She didn't like it. He stood his ground, and I like that. Somebody that speaks up and doesn't get run over by the press. So many times you'll have people that really don't know the law, number one, that try to convince you that something is, you know where I'm going with all of that. We got somebody with some backbone.
Yeah.
And our country has lacked backbone for quite some time.
And he is an American dream, because you hear people going, well, you know, I just didn't have the same chance as everybody else.
He was dirt poor, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, and he didn't have anybody to take care of him. He watched the movie that explains what he dealt with his mama. And he made no bones about it, and he showed, there's my mama, and she is clean and sober for 13 years or something like that. This man did what he had to do on his own and pushed through and got his education and joined the military. Every single American has the same chance at going to school, making a good grade, going farther in education, joining the military.
Boy, does he! If he's not the example of the American dream, I don't know what he is.
100% example right there. You get caught on the wrong side of the fence, and you go down a rabbit hole, and you end up in jail. That's no one else's fault. You have that choice.
And I think you said it right there. So many Americans now blame other people for their own demise.
Instead of looking in the mirror.
Yeah, that's where we really got to change the thought process in America. Live up to what you do. You're responsible for you. No one else is. You are. That means getting up, going to work. It means being responsible for having bills. No one needs to pay for your education that you got. You decided to go borrow that money to further your education. You should be responsible for it. Not Odie, not me, and not you.
But right here in Lauderdale County, if you go to Lauderdale County School and you want to further your education, you can go to MCC for free.
Mm-hmm.
No loan. And if you really want to, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, get you some good grades. Go to school for 2 years for free at MCC, get you some good grades. And another college will say, hey, I like the way they're doing, and I'll give you an education for free.
Well, and, you know, as you say that, Dylan Ray Boyd, my son, Dylan Ray, has a PhD.
Wait a minute, Doctor.
Dr. Boyd.
Dylan
I have to
Ray.
do this. And Dylan started out, he graduated from West Lauderdale. He went to MCC. He got scholarships all along. He worked hard to earn scholarships, done this extra stuff. Stayed there, advanced to Mississippi State, got a few grants. Then he got a job while he was there. He worked 2 jobs while he was in there, and he came out of college with a doctorate degree and owes no one. It can be done. And I'm telling you, we didn't have the money, and he made it. You can too. It's just how hard you want to put into it. But
join the military. Oh my gosh, that was the best $100 a month for a year. They took $50 out of each check for 1 year, and I got an education out of it when I got out. The military, but you got to keep your nose clean.
Yes, sir.
Don't listen.
You can't be hanging out with Ward on the weekends.
No, because he'll dress you up in one of them haircutting capes. You don't want that, but you take responsibility of your own actions. It's nobody else's fault. The opportunity is there. Do you want to eat off of that plate, or do you want to go get scraps? It's up to you.
And you're right, Dylan Ray did go to Kemper Academy there in elementary school when we lived in Scooby Town. We'll be right back.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church, and nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Okay, we may have the funniest comment. Arnold, it goes to you this morning.
Yeah, Bob, you're slacking because Arnold has come across now. He says, you got your choice, Hojo's or MCC.
Your choice. Pretty good there.
Oh, I love it.
Over the weekend, we had an incident that occurred in Neshoba County. And information on this will most likely change a little bit as we get more on this as MBI releases information. A Winston County Deputy was in the pursuit of someone around Noxapater. That's going to be just north of Neshoba County at Noxapater there where the Dollar General is. The deputy would get in behind them. Apparently it was some form of traffic stop. We don't know what they did, but he was in pursuit, and he would go into Neshoba County around County Road 577, and it was near Heightmore Road, is where the suspect would wreck. Upon getting out of the car and walking to it, the deputy fired his weapon, striking the person in the car. Now, we do know that there was a gun inside the car. We don't know what caused him to pull his service revolver.
Right.
All that's under investigation. Possibly all caught on body camera. We'll wait and see what becomes of this. But that's under investigation. Had nothing to do with the Neshoba County Sheriff's Department. This was all Winston County. They did come to the scene and secure it until MBI and the Mississippi Highway Patrol arrived on scene to... Whenever you got an officer involved in that, multiple agencies respond, and then MBI takes over to conduct the investigation. That is bipartisan. Is that the way it's...
Well, you've got to have, you can't have the same agency doing any of the investigation. So you call an outside agency in, so say Neshoba County SO to come in and say, look, y'all secure everything, y'all make sure everything's good, we got MBI coming in. That way nobody can come in and say, well, that was completely biased on one-sided. You've got multiple agencies coming together to get the right information out and look at the investigation as a whole. Good job to everybody that took part in that. Yeah.
Let's see here. A couple other things. Keep this in mind. We got professionals that do this. Mike Reed is one of them. Be careful whenever cutting trees on your own. We had someone in Copiah County this weekend lose their life cutting a tree, and the tree snapped as they were cutting, and it fell back on them and killed them. A 73-year-old man. Not worth your life at all.
No.
We see that a pedestrian was struck and killed on I-55 in Jackson over the weekend. That is pretty common there. And again...
Yeah, right here. Pedestrians crossing the road and the effect you have on the drivers that hit you. Man, it's terrible.
We had a rollover wreck in Philadelphia over the weekend, and they fled the scene. They wrecked the car there in the city there, and they took off.
Boogie there, what you'd like to say.
They set up a drone trying to find them. I don't think they ever were located, most likely taken into somebody's house. And by now they know who it is, but again, there's no evidence there, whatever reason they ran.
So it probably wasn't that car.
Or maybe they had you never know if somebody's had something to drink or they got something on them, or maybe they got a warrant that catch me if you can.
Maybe they didn't have a license to drive the vehicle.
That is also a reason that people get out and boogie there.
Yeah.
So a few of the things that went on over the weekend there, I saw these pictures, and they were kind of extravagant back in the day. Do you remember those two fellows that lived together that played with tigers and had the show? How do you say it? Singford and Roy?
Singford and Roy, yeah.
Yeah. This is a picture of their house, and they had their... I need the letters, because it'd look good if I had a gate.
He would, wouldn't he?
He would.
Well, we'd have to stick a gate up.
But this is what their house looked like while they were doing the shows in Las Vegas. Since they both have died... The homeless have taken over, Odie, and I want you to look at what it looks like now. homeless are living in this humongous house. At one time, it was worth millions.
Yeah.
I would say it's not worth anything now. Where is the picture?
And that's what Amy said. You see what happened to them? You think you're gonna get a tiger? There ain't no way you're gonna get a tiger. I still want me a tiger.
Here's a picture here, and again, this is from Daily Mail. Here's a picture of what their living room looked like. You see that?
Golly, that's beautiful.
That's what she looks like now.
Man.
Homeless, living all up in it.
To see.
Now,
if you had free run of that, why didn't you clean it up and keep it going and everything else? And, live in there and still take respect for the house you're not paying nothing for.
Well, but who owns it? That's my question. Did it?
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer to that. I guess they didn't have kin, did they? I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody should have had a brother or a sister or something.
Or a friend, a close friend that you.
But
nephews, nieces.
Here's another picture here of what it looked like. This is what it used to look like, and now. They had to be cutting the copper out of the house.
Yeah. Well, that's why they ain't got no power. Ain't got no copper wire to take the electricity through the house.
But I just found that interesting. I truly, and maybe there's more to the story that I don't know about where the house fell into. If it was an argument, sometimes arguments happen between family members and they can't settle it, and then homeless take over.
But there was some money there to protect that home while the family argued this out.
Them old boys had money.
Yes. There's some way that someone could have secured that home. Of course, where was it?
Las Vegas.
That's all I'm going to say. Y'all move there if you want to.
Did you
see what
realize that it was a huge win this weekend that Kristi Noem has now taken over her new position of Homeland Security? Did you know that?
Yes.
They voted that.
Everybody is allowing Trump's people to do their job.
There she is.
Homeland Security, FEMA falls under that. I don't foresee Trump saying, okay, no more FEMA, you're done. Because states, and I see his point, Mississippi, Tater Tot, he has jumped in there when needed to be and done what was needed on the coast and our area,
correct,
everything else. Florida, the governor jumped in there and did everything. I'm with him. FEMA may need to be redesigned, rebuilt. We still need FEMA. Now, that's going to give states a lot more money to do in-house work, but still, we can't house everything we need logistically without some federal help. And now, you're still, when you have a disaster, you're 3 days on your own. And that's where we come in to help you through these 3 days. And then the state comes in and helps. FEMA cannot just come to Mississippi until they've been invited. Now, it's got to be, I got to do an emergency, the state's got to do an emergency, and then the feds have got to agree to that emergency. And then they can start sending stuff. So just because you have an emergency, FEMA's not coming day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, or day 5. It's designed for us to take care of ourselves locally for 3 days, then the state, then FEMA. But it does need to be some changes. Reworking.
Now, Kristi, if I'm not mistaken, she was the governor of South Dakota, correct?
One of those, I believe it was.
I believe it was South Dakota. Well, that's a quick look at some headlines there of what went on this week. We got some birthdays now. Oh, yeah. Becky Brown had a birthday yesterday.
Becky did.
She did, older than dirt.
And you couldn't get... Becky, don't come in here. Come in the early hours when I'm not here. We'll say Becky Brown had a birthday, 29 years old, and holding. I don't know where you come up with all that.
She holding on to something. I don't know what it is.
Well, Saturday we had Hillary Hurt, Kelly Blackwell, and Vita Vanderslice. I don't know why I can't never get that out.
Because you've been hanging around me.
Yeah, I had a birthday Saturday. Linda Fisher had a 68th birthday Sunday. Lucy Moore is 19 today. Patrick says his mother-in-law Linda had a birthday Sunday. I don't know what Linda. So, Linda, if you have a son-in-law named Patrick, he wishes you a happy birthday.
Well, there you go.
And Travis Sanders is having a birthday. So, happy birthday to everybody that's celebrated over the weekend and today.
Tomorrow we will be telling you more about the big ribbon cutting ceremony that's coming. The governor is coming to town. He will be at the MSU Riley Center as they bring in all this information about the new data center that is coming to Lauderdale County. We'll bring you coverage of that tomorrow as it gets here. It's time for us to depart, and well, to leave, Odie, we can't leave without a good word from up above. What you got for us?
And, here we are this whole weekend. We saw Trump sign his orders, and people are getting upset on this side, and people are happy on this side. And 4 years ago, it was the opposite. But no matter what, I want to go to Mark 3, verse 25. If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And we've got to come together, and we've got to do what's right as a nation. And it starts with each one of our individual souls. We've got to ask the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to come into our hearts, lead us to the way we need to be led, and live our life unto Him. And He's the only way to have salvation and to save our country, our world, is through the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Y'all have a safe Monday. Be careful on the roads. Don't worry, Friday's coming, but we'll be back for Tuesday tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a wonderful day because we love you.
Oh, and closing thoughts, I won't say a name, but this was brought up. I was inboxed about it earlier. We have a youth that's going to have surgery this morning.
Yes.
That really needs some special prayer, and it has brain surgery, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, they're in the middle of surgery right now.
So prayers.
Put your hands on this team. Yeah.
You got to have your prayer warriors for these things to work good. So that's what's going on there. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.